What's up, family? This your favorite cousin Rich. And I was at work yesterday and I overheard a conversation and they were saying, I can't stand Trump. Trump about to cut the food stamps. Trump about to cut welfare. And I couldn't do anything but bust out laughing. They might hate me now, but it's whatever. But yeah, they were, angry that supposedly, I don't keep up with politics like that. But, they were angry that Trump was about to cut food stamps. And I had to sit there and I say, you know, us black folk, we really love our welfare. We really love our government assistance. We really love our government aid. We really do. And I know I'm not the only one that feels what I'm about to say, but I hope he cut them. I ain't gonna lie to you. I hope he cut them. Now, disclaimer: not if somebody really needs it. You know, you need disability. You're a veteran. You know, you're a newly single parent or something like that. You need just a little bit of help. Just a little bit of help to get you over. But all these things, like people who've been on welfare for the past 10, 12 years, 6 years, 8 years, who've been collecting from the government, Section 8, all these things, and they made it their way of living, made it their way of life. I don't feel no type of way about you. I don't feel no type of way about it. To be honest, I don't. To be completely honest with you, I'm tired of going to the grocery store, my little $100, my little $50, only give me a handbasket full of stuff. Yet people run around and parade with, they food stamps and having 2, 3 carts full of shit. And they parade around and they act like not working and being on government assistance is some kind of trophy, some kind of celebration, some kind of life achievement. And I don't feel that way. I don't feel that type of way. And then the next comment they said, Trump is out of touch with humanity or reality or whatever the case. And that may be true. He grew up rich or whatever the case. That might be true. But do we see the other side about how much that cost the government? Just saying. Now I know we now might not care about that part, and that's not part of why I'm speaking on this. But I'm just saying, we don't. That's the part that they see is how much they spend actively on these welfare programs and government assistance, government aids, and housing programs. They see how much is being spent. So that's where their care is. But on our side, we seem it as if they're taking another stab at us to bring us down, to hurt us. And to them, they're just trying to save money. But I sit back and say, does welfare really help us as a people? Does it really? Does it really? Now, me personally, I've never been on welfare, food stamps, any kind of government assistance, any type of government aid. Does that make me less black? See, there we go. Oh, you ain't never been on food stamps, you ain't black. There we go about that struggle, and you got to struggle to be black. But anyways, both of my parents worked their ass off to ensure. But my mother, she grew up a little bit less fortunate, but her mother worked her ass off. Her mother was a single parent, and she worked her ass off and did not accept any kind of government assistance. The only government assistance my mother ever received was a Pell Grant to go to college. But besides the point, when I sit back and I look at government assistance, number one, it originally was not for us. Number one, originally, in order for when FDR created it, right? Originally, it wasn't for the black people. In order for the southern states to agree to welfare, guess what had to happen? They had to exclude two people. And who were the two group of people that it excluded? Number one, it was domestic workers and agricultural workers. Again, domestic and agricultural workers. Two professions who were dominated by black people at that time during the Great Depression. That's who it excluded. So FDR had to exclude agricultural and domestic workers, farmers and housemaids. That was the jobs that we held. But welfare, FDR had to exclude those two groups in order for the Southern states to sign off on it. Southern states weren't going to give no unemployment, no extra help to black folk. So let's just throw that out there. It wasn't even there to help us. Now, further down the line, it becomes what? It becomes a crutch. They see that they can use this tool to minimize the forward movement, the forward progress of the black community. And we've all done heard it before, in the 70s, in the 80s. If you have a man in the house, you can't get no welfare. Further separating the black family structure, the black family unit, ripping it apart. Because when you already low on income or you're not able to provide, and the government is a better provider than the man of the house, guess what happens? The man of the house got to go. So we took the aid of a government being our father and having one family unit and figuring out how to survive. I'm not pointing no blame. I'm just saying this is what happened. And then further down the line, we embrace this culture. We embrace welfare. We embrace government aid. We embrace food stamps. We make it the thing. Could it be trying to find some kind of happiness out of a sad situation? Maybe. Maybe it could be. But I don't think that helps. I think after a certain point, it hurts more than it helps. See, I've always seen welfare, food stamps, government aid. I've always seen it as a crutch. What's the famous saying? You can always give a man a fish, but if you teach a man how to fish, you ain't gotta give him fish no more. I'm just paraphrasing. I'm pretty sure it goes a little bit more intellectually, or whatever the case may be. But understand what I'm saying. You give a man a fish, he's tied to you. He's dependent on you. You keep giving him a fish, keep giving him a fish, keep giving him a fish. He's dependent on you. He don't know how to get it on his own. He's not self-sustaining. But if I teach that man how to fish, I ain't gotta give him no more fish. He's not dependent on me no more. And this is why they would never teach us how to fish. Not saying it's their job to teach us how to fish, but after a while, you have to look and say, why you keep giving me fish and not allowing me to go fish by myself? Why you keep allowing me to be dependent on you and not allowing myself to be independent? Because it's control. Because it's control. We're so hooked on receiving free things and free aid and living the easy life and how to get by, how to slide by, how to do the bare minimum and get the most. Even if it's not the best living conditions, even if it's not the best food, even if it's not the best environments, we don't care. We don't see that as a crutch. We just see it as free stuff, free food. And we don't see how it cripples us. To the point now, we're crying. We're crying that we want to be dependent. We're crying that we need this crutch. We're up in arms and we can't see the blessing. We can't see the silver lining through this situation. That eventually, if he cuts this makes us get up off our ass and forces us to be self-sufficient. Again, it forces us to get up off of our ass and be self-sufficient. Something that could really benefit us. Yeah, all we can do is turn around and say how the orange man is trying to hurt us. Again, like a good subscriber of mine says, we love that victimhood shit. She didn't say it like that. I'm just paraphrasing. But how she said, you know, we love that victimhood mentality. That in every situation, we always look at it as being the victim. And when you always look at situations as being the victim, you can't see different perspectives. You can't figure out different outcomes and how to come out being the victor. We can't come together and say, okay, Trump about to do this, about to do that, about to do that. Let's rearrange ourselves. Let's do this, let's do that in order for us to win. Let's get up off our ass and get this hustle going and get this hustle going and get this hustle going so we're not dependent. Now I know somebody probably gonna say, well, these people over here on more food stamps than us, and these people over here receiving this. I'm not worried about that. Because if you understand why they're giving it to these other groups, they're doing it, that's the same reason they gave it to you. But they see that you're not loyal no more. That's the only reason why they was giving it to you. Because they understood if they gave you this assistance, you would be loyal to them. And they see now you done seen through the veil. A lot of us are seeing through the veil. That's why certain group of politicians wanted to start giving that aid to other people. I hope y'all picking up what I'm putting down. That's why they gave that aid to other people. Because they needed a new group of people to be loyal. And now when you have Trump people come in office, they just seeing dollars and cents. They saying, no, we spending way too much money on this, quote unquote, government aid, government assistance, government welfare. We spending way too much money on this. Cut it. Now, are they going to cut it for everybody, people who's really in dire need of it? No. No. But for y'all food stamp queens, y'all Section 8 queens, the ones who keep having a baby every 2 years in order to continue staying on food stamps, or having your Section 8 or this and that, and y'all know all the ins and outs of how to do this and how to do that, you know, to receive government aid, your time is up. And I'm elated. I'm very elated. Because like I said, I'm tired of going to the grocery store with my little $50, $75, $100 and walking out with a bag, 2 bags. Yeah, you got people out here who haven't worked, don't plan on working, don't want to work, but know how to work the system. They're coming out there with buggies full of shit. We done got to the point now where you can take the EBT card, and you can go get hot food. You can go to Wingstop, you can go to McDonald's, you can go to Jack in the Box, and go get food. Like I said, if you need a little extra bump to help you going, you know, because whatever job you got might not be, you know, sufficient. I get it. Cool. I'm not tripping about that. Especially if you hustling, you grinding, and you just need a couple extra dollars to help you tie you over. I get that. Till your ships come in. I get that. I ain't tripping about that. I'm not talking about you. I'm talking about people who's tied to the titty, who can't get off the titty. That's who I'm talking about. The people who can't see that this is a crutch, who can't see that this is hurting us more than it's helping us. Well, we have young girls who get pregnant, and the first thing we think of is put them on food stamps, put them on government assistance. Instead of trying to align her to where she can go to school, go to college, and then become self-sufficient. The first thing a young girl thinks about after she gets pregnant is, oh, I get some food stamps now, I get some government assistance now. And perpetuating the same cycle over and over and over and over and over and over and over. If y'all want me to break this down some more and live or anything like that, I'm about to go live soon. I can put up graphs, books, people who've spoken on this topic, like intellectuals who wrote on this, seeing that it was coming a mile away, you know, videos, all type of good shit. If you want that, just let me know on the comment. Anyway, this is your favorite cousin Rich. Hope this can help somebody. I greatly do appreciate y'all for listening. Y'all be safe out there. Love and blessings.